Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to what's making news, let's head outside and take a look outside our very busy weather window today. Boy, a little bit of everything. Cloudy skies this morning, had some rainbow activity this afternoon, some rain showers, and plenty of that wind. In fact, a wind advisory in place from 3 o'clock until 7 o'clock. That's for our area, the Wenatchee Valley, but there is a high wind warning as you move east. Moses Lake could see wind gusts between 60 and 65. We've seen wind gusts around 30 here in Wenatchee, but that could be higher too as we make our way through at least these early evening hours. And then by tonight, this cold front will move through and it'll drop some snow. In fact, a winter storm advisory in effect, winter weather advisory for western Chelan County. So we're talking areas west of Chelan could see some snow and some very treacherous driving conditions. And yeah, we'll talk more about all of the weather systems that we will see this week coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A Moses Lake man faces multiple child pornography charges after his home was raided last Wednesday. A semi-truck loaded with box of apples crashed Friday night, a mile and a half north of Orondo, critically injuring the driver. And East Wenatchee police are looking for a man and a woman who are suspects in numerous shoplifting incidents at Costco. But first, our top story tonight. The body of Seattle Deputy Fire Chief Jay Schreckengost was found yesterday afternoon in rural Kittitas County after a 2-week search. The 56-year-old Schreckengost had been missing since November 2nd after he told his family he was going elk hunting in the area. His body was located about a half mile from where his pickup was parked. The cause of death will be released after an examination by the Kittitas County coroner, although the Kittitas County Sheriff's Office says evidence of foul play was not evident. A Moses Lake man faces multiple child pornography charges after his home was raided last Wednesday. The arrest stems from an initial investigation by the Othello Police Department that eventually involved numerous local, county, state, and federal officials. Arrested at his home in the 6800 block of Bacon Lane Northeast was 37-year-old Dustin L. Blasky. He faces charges of first and second degree dealing in depictions of minors engaged in sexually explicit conduct and first and second degree possession of depictions of minors engaged in sexually explicit conduct. Multiple agencies assisted Othello Police, including the Grant County Sheriff's Office, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, Washington Patrol Missing and Exploited Children Task Force, Seattle Police Department Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, the Homeland Security Investigations, and the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board. Meanwhile, a semi-truck loaded with boxes of apples crashed Friday night, 1/2 mile north of Orondo, critically injuring the driver and delaying traffic both Friday evening and Saturday morning. According to Washington State Patrol Trooper John Bryant, the semi was traveling southbound on Highway 97. That was about 6 p.m. when it was unable to negotiate a turn. The truck struck the southbound guardrail, left the highway, went over an embankment, and came to rest in a dry creek bed. Rescue personnel from Douglas County Fire District 4 located the driver buried under boxes of apples. The driver, identified as 53-year-old Rafael Arizaga Tapia of West Richland, was airlifted to Harborview Medical Center with critical injuries. Traffic was detoured for nearly 4 hours Friday night and then again for 2 hours Saturday morning while crews removed the debris. The State Patrol says Tapia was driving too fast for conditions. Meanwhile, East Wenatchee police are looking for a man and woman who are suspects in numerous shoplifting incidents at Costco. Police released a photo of the two leaving the East Wenatchee store and are asking for help identifying the pair. Police say the shoplifting has been happening over the past few months. Anyone with information is asked to contact the East Wenatchee Police Department at the Rivercom non-emergency line, and that phone number is 509-663-9911. Well, coming up next, winds gusting up to 50 miles an hour yesterday led to downed trees and other hazards around the Wenatchee Valley. The Wenatchee School Board expects to return to in-person meetings just in time for the swearing in of its newest board member. Beginning today, riders on Wenatchee School District buses were required to have rider frequency identification cards. And those who are tired of carrying that oversized card as proof of their COVID-19 vaccination now have a new option. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today. Merry Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Merry Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Merry Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Merry Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
Welcome back. In another news, winds gusting up to 50 miles an hour yesterday led to downed trees and other hazards around the Wenatchee Valley. The Chelan County PUD reported 2 brief power outages yesterday, one in western Wenatchee and one at Wapato Point. The second outage involved a downed tree that had to be removed. Between them, the Chelan and Douglas County Sheriff's offices dealt with 13 reports of hazards involving trees and other debris on public roadways. No injuries were reported as a result of that storm. The Wenatchee School Board expects to return to in-person meetings just in time for the swearing in of its newest board member, Catherine Thomas, who will join the board at its November 23rd meeting after winning election over incumbent Michelle Sandberg. Board meetings moved to virtual settings in August after a group disrupted one gathering by refusing to wear facial masks despite COVID-19 orders from the governor and the state superintendent of public instruction. The board will also elect a new president and other officers. Well, beginning today, riders on Wenatchee School District buses were required to have rider frequency identification cards. The microchip technology RFID cards are scanned by the students as they board the buses. That allows the school district to collect real-time information on bus riders. The district says the cards will help increase safety. If a student loses or forgets their card, they will receive a temporary card, and the replacements are $5 each. Well, those who are tired of carrying that oversized card as proof of their COVID-19 vaccination now have a new option. Governor Jay Inslee on Friday updated his proclamation requiring vaccine documents to enter large public gatherings. Anyone with their vaccine record on file at MyIR Mobile can now show a certificate or QR code from that service. The governor's order, originally issued in October, requires proof of vaccination at any indoor event hosting at least 1,000 people or outdoor events hosting 10,000 or more. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. FIELDSTONE Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The FIELDSTONE team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to FIELDSTONE.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. About 68% of Okanagan County's adult population is now fully vaccinated for COVID-19. But hospitalizations there have been heavy, and many patients have to be transferred to hospitals in Wenatchee or elsewhere. In tonight's features story, a series of videos from Okanagan Public Health is looking at the pandemic from multiple viewpoints. In the latest installment, it's the view from the county's Lifeline paramedics.
It's not a question of, well, if I get COVID, I probably won't die because I'm young and I'm healthy. If I get COVID and start clogging up the system, I stand a better chance of dying, and I stand a much bigger chance of impacting someone else's care too. Maybe that wasn't communicated well to some people, maybe they just didn't think it through, but that is what happens. Every time one of these waves goes through, like the new variant, or a big spike from super spreader events, whatever the case, it puts such a strain on the system.
It was not this week, it was last Friday.
It's about a week ago?
Yeah.
Perfect. Pinch your nose real quick. There we go. All right. Perfect.
I had it almost beat, but well, COVID, but
Did you get the COVID vaccine?
not yet. Well, after this.
A 5-hour round trip, typically, to take someone to Wenatchee, and then for us to get back here and back in service. So for that 5 hours, there's one less ambulance and one less crew that's in town to serve the 911 needs. With this one, even though it's a COVID patient, since they're unresponsive, we'll all be going in. So they are doing CPR. So that changes a lot of things. Hey Doc, this is Sean with Lifeline. So we are on scene. We've been going right at about 30 minutes now with no return of circulation. Okay, yes sir, thank you. Let's set our next pulse check. We'll go ahead and confirm doctor agreed with no change to cease efforts.
Time now to take a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. Great to be back after spending a week in my home state of Montana where, boy, it was windy. And I know a lot of wind here yesterday, and I was back yesterday, but can you believe the temperatures? We'll get to that in a second. But our weather today, we had some rain showers around the noon hour time and then into 1 o'clock as well. A little bit of a break from that. And then by about mid-afternoon, it came right back into the Wenatchee Valley. And boy, we've had a wet period over the last week or so. High temperature today, though, boy, that was early on. That was about noon today where we actually tied a record high of 63. And that was set back in 1998. We should be about 44 for our normal high, and we got to 63. But let's for a second just go back to yesterday. 70 degrees, our official high temperature, 26 degrees above where we should be yesterday. Of course, we did have all that wind. This morning, record low temperature as well of 54 overnight. 31 is where we should be. Our record low is 15, set back in 1978. A trace so far, but we'll adjust that as we get into tomorrow's weather. Of course, we will receive probably some more rain today and then once again tonight. Sunrise 7:06, sunset at 4:25. Let's take a look at your Tuesday weather now, at least temperature-wise. We will see a bit of a break from all this wet weather. Sunshine in our forecast tomorrow, but the big difference, much cooler temperatures, only low 50s for the Columbia Basin, Moses Lake over into Quincy, 49 the high temperature for Wenatchee, 48 in Kashmir, and 49 the high temperature tomorrow back in Eniat. So a little bit back to normal as far as temperature goes as we get into Tuesday. This is what we're seeing right now. High pressure off the coast, fueling those strong winds, and it's getting some help from this area of low pressure too, and it really scrunches those isobars close together, and that means some windy conditions, so mostly cloudy tonight. For Tuesday, we just talked about some sunny conditions for you tomorrow, but it still will be just a little bit breezy, much cooler too, with high temperatures only in the upper 40s, so back to normal as far as temperatures go by tomorrow. For Wednesday, partly cloudy. It will be even a little bit cooler tomorrow as we get more of a northerly flow, and that'll allow more of these blue colors, and those are cold temperatures to slide down from the north. Later in the day on Tuesday, here we go with our next round of moisture. Cloudy skies, a 60% chance of, yes, we might see some snow flying for Thursday with high temperatures only in the lower 40s. This is taking us right through the day, and this is actually Thursday night. By the time we get to Friday, cloudy skies, a 50% chance for some morning rain showers, and you can see the band right through the center of Washington, and then high pressure takes over as we get into your upcoming weekend, and it should be a decent one with partly cloudy skies on Saturday. High pressure will slide over into the state. We're talking high temperatures in the mid to upper 40s, and then by the end of our forecast on Sunday, we once again will see partly cloudy skies. It will be, we'll call it seasonal temperatures because our normal is about 44, and that's where we should be on Sunday with high temperatures then into the mid-40s. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast now. 35 degrees overnight tonight. Still a little bit breezy for our Tuesday, and 49. Temperatures back down to about normal for Wednesday and Thursday, but yeah, more of the wet stuff. A rain-snow mix on Thursday with a high of 42. For Friday, cloudy skies, a 50% chance of mainly morning rain showers, and 46 degrees, and then mid-40s for our weekend with partly cloudy skies on both Saturday and Sunday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Ever wonder what it takes for wild birds to survive the longer, colder nights of winter? They can't just turn up the thermostat or throw on an extra blanket. Winter Super Blend from Wild Birds Unlimited provides a super boost of energy and fat, essential for winter survival. Stop by our store to learn how you can help the birds this season and how you can attract more beautiful birds to your yard. Wild Birds Unlimited. More birds, more joy.
I'm Dr. Wayne Latimer. I'm a chiropractic physician. I have postgraduate certifications in both whiplash, trauma, and rehab, as well as sports medicine. The location is great. The light and the visibility, the 17-foot ceilings are fantastic. You can go into a lot of clinics, and it's very clinical. People really like the spa environment, so my whole premise was take a spa environment and the very serious rehab and give people an enjoyable way to get better over time.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Monday to you. The problems for football teams in Seattle continue. The Seahawks and Huskies both lost, and the UW announced Sunday it was firing its head coach. Jimmy Lake was suspended after he shoved one of its players during the Oregon game. Since then, it was discovered Lake also allegedly shoved a player in 2019. After Washington's loss to Arizona State Saturday, the school announced that Lake was terminated and that defensive coordinator Bob Gregory would fill in over the final two games at Colorado and home against Washington State. Well, the Seahawks were shut out for the first time since 2011 Sunday, falling to the Packers in Green Bay, 17-0 the final. The game was marked with the return of Russell Wilson after finger surgery. The 10-year veteran ineffective, however. He passed for just 161 yards, threw a couple of interceptions, was sacked 3 times. Wilson says he felt like he was ready to play.
My finger felt fine, the problem with tonight was I had two bad plays, That's what it really was. It felt like we were moving the ball pretty well. We had that really good drive down there. It's third down and I think 8 or so, whatever it was, and tried to make a throw to DK. And guy made a good play. His back was turned. I was trying to get it to him. He's done it before, for touchdowns, and he did a good job turning around, catching it. I think that the other one, he was trying to take a shot, to Tyler. But I felt confident. I didn't feel anything. I threw one high to Tyler there that, I was like, maybe I just try to, throw it a little too hard, just smooth throw it. But other than that, I felt confident in every throw, and, just confident in the game. It was the reality was the game was 3-0 all the way, till fourth quarter or whatever. And, we should have won that game. Our defense played great. Guys battled throughout the whole game between two really good teams. I got to play better, and that was on me. There was those 2 plays. That was really the game.
Yeah, Seattle held Green Bay to 3 points until 10 minutes left in the game. Coach Pete Carroll says he really felt like they were going to win.
Get a chance to beat this team here and all that. 10 minutes ago in the game, we're 3-0, and had given up a chance to get it knocked and tie it up and all that, and played really hard and really tough. And defense kept us in the game all night long, and Russ tried to get a throw in the end zone there when we had a chance we had a field goal that we could take, and he tried to stick it in behind the guy and it just didn't quite fit. He made a mistake. He knows it. And then he chucked the other one just in desperation to try to see if we can get back in the game. And so he had a couple bad plays. I know you're wondering, was he ready and all that kind of stuff. He was ready to play. And there's nothing else, there's no other information leading into this could tell us any different. He was pumped and got after it and all that, and they did a nice job tonight. They're a good defense. We couldn't get enough going on to make the points we needed.
Wide receiver DK Metcalf was ejected from the game in the final minutes for fighting. He finished with 3 catches for 26 yards. Seattle dropped to 3-6 with a loss and returned home to host Arizona Sunday in Seattle. Well, checking the Les Schwab College football scoreboard over the weekend, Anthony Brown threw for 135 yards and a score and rushed for 123 yards and another touchdown to lead number 3 Oregon past Washington State 38-24 Saturday. The Cougs dropped to 4-3 in the Pac-12 with the loss. Huskies squandered a 24-14 fourth quarter lead and lost to Arizona State at home in the rain Saturday 35-30. Washington's defense was gouged for 286 yards rushing, 184 of which by Rashad White, who scored the go-ahead touchdown with 1:11 remaining. Well, Eric Berrier returned to form to lead Eastern Washington to a 38-20 win over UC Davis. Senior quarterback threw for 411 yards and 3 touchdowns to help the Eagles improve to 8-2 on the season. Central Washington's Quincy Glasper threw for 5 touchdowns, ran for 2 others. Wildcats blew out Simon Fraser 70-0 Saturday in Ellensburg. Next up for Central will be the playoffs Saturday at Northwest Missouri State. Well, the Seattle Kraken lost its 10th game of the NHL season Saturday night at home to Minnesota, 4-2 the final. Wild jumped out to a 2-goal lead over the first 2 periods on a memorable night for rookie Rem Pitlick.
Now a foot race. Hartman in first for Minnesota. Out in front. They score! Rem Pitlick gets to it. That's his first goal in the National Hockey League. Seattle back out to center. McCann thwarted, broken up. Open ice. Pitlick. Partial breakaway. He's in. He scores! Over the line. His pass broken up by Ryan Hartman. Look out. It's a breakaway again. It's Pitlick for the 3rd time. He's got a hat trick. Rem Pitlick with goals number 1, number 2, and 3 of his NHL career. Eberle stretches it out on Spurgeon. Here's Wenberg out in front. They score! Marcus Johansson on the boards. The puck is free. Foligno just wide. Sturm will get to it. There you go. Empty net goal. 5:06 left for Schwartz. Wenberg off the goalpost. No, it made it in just inside the pipe. So Minnesota gets back to their winning ways. They've won now 5 of their last 6.
Seattle will host the Chicago Blackhawks at Climate Pledge Arena Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Well, the Wenatchee Wild are headed back to Canada this week after losing twice at home over the weekend. After falling in overtime Thursday to the West Kelowna Warriors, Wenatchee dropped another close one on Friday by a final 4-3. Cade Littler was the lone bright spot for Wenatchee, scoring the first hat trick of his BCHL career. The Wild play at Nanaimo Friday, Victoria Saturday, and Langley Sunday before returning home next week to host Salmonar. Well, let's have a look at what's happening locally. We got a state champion in our midst after a busy weekend of high school sports. The Chelan Goats won their second consecutive state 1A volleyball title going back to 2019 by sweeping Lynden Christian Saturday night in the Sun Dome. It was Chelan's third state title in school history. Congrats to the Goats. Team just up State Route 150 took third at the State 2B tournament. Manson rallied after falling in the semifinals to beat Raymond in 3 sets. It was the Trojans' second highest ever finish at the state after a second place finish in 2007. Ephrata heads to the State 2A volleyball tournament as a district champion after downing Ellensburg Saturday 3 sets to 2. Bulldogs came back to beat Prosser in a last chance to get to state. It'll be ridiculously early wake-up call for the Bulldogs Friday at the state tournament at the Sun Dome as Ellensburg faces White River in a first-round match. That's right, 7 o'clock in the morning. Ephrata's first match pits them against Anacortes at 8:45. You'll have to go back to 1983 to find the last time Wenatchee brought hardware back from the state volleyball tournament. Of course, that was a state title, and it was one of just 3 volleyball trophies in the case for the Panthers. Marnie McMahon will try to add that this week when her team heads to Yakima Friday. That's when the 6th-seeded Panthers will take on 11th seed Mount Rainier, 8:45 in the morning. The bracketing puts Wenatchee in a second-round game against either West Valley or Lake Stevens. Tahoma took the state title in swimming and diving at the Federal Way Aquatic Center over the weekend. Moses Lake took 7th, while Eastmont finished 13th, Wenatchee 23rd in the team standings. Chiefs 200 free relay team placed 3rd, while Eastmont was 4th in that race. It was a rough weekend for North Central Washington schools in any sports involving cleats. Eastmont's season came to an end Friday at Eastlake, where the Wildcats fell to the Eagles 50-0. Moses Lake also ran into a buzzsaw Friday night, losing at Gonzaga Prep 56-7. Omak also had its season come to an end at Meade High School, where the Pioneers fell to Lakeside 9 Mile Falls 42-0. Brewster fought valiantly but came up short at Columbia Burbank Friday, 32-28 the final. CB will head north this Friday to meet up with Okanagan in the quarterfinals at Lee-Boffill Field of the Apple Bowl at 7 o'clock. Waterville-Mansfield came up short in the State 1B football playoff Saturday, falling to Nacelle 68-12. Liberty Bell, the only cleated team in our region that was victorious over the weekend, drowning Cusick in Winthrop 52-20. Lions will face Odessa in the quarterfinals this Saturday at 3 o'clock at Lions Field in Moses Lake. The run in the State 1B, 2B girls soccer tournament also came to an end for Tenasket and Okanagan on Saturday. The Tigers fell to Kalama 4-0. Bulldogs lost to Adna in the Apple Bowl by a final of 3-1. Whew, that's a lot of sports. And Grant is back. Good to see you, buddy.
Thanks, Eric. Nice to see you. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night. News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life channel.